Welcome to the Trying to Be Better podcast with Joel and Steve.
Hello.
It's for the kids.
TTBB. It's for the kids.
The kids are all right. I don't know if they need us.
I don't know if the kids are all right. Sometimes they're all right. I work with the kid. I work with our youth.
Yeah.
I try to teach them. And sometimes they really show up. And sometimes I get an email that says, hey, so I'm going to be on family vacation for 4 weeks. Thanks for understanding. I'm like, I don't know how you're going to pass this class, but good luck.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
really curious to see all that work you're going to turn in 5 weeks.
I don't blame them.
Right.
I'm like,
Why would you?
Take the vacation. But
right. But you as a educator have a responsibility.
yeah, I don't want the brown shirts coming after me, so I got to keep on my, you know what I mean?
Well, they're coming after you. You don't have to worry about that. You might as well go on vacation.
I am going to go on vacation very soon.
I love that. I hope you can get back
Every
in the country.
day. I don't know that where I'm going,
Good
I don't know
point.
if I want to come back.
I understand.
You know?
I do, as a matter of fact. Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody. This is the Trying to Be Better podcast with Joel and Steve.
Yep.
My name is Joel.
And I'm Steve.
And welcome to the rest of your life.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I don't know. I have a gallery today. You can't see them, but I have my wife, Kirsten, who's over there, and my dog, Maven, who is in her nest.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we're just chilling.
Well, that's nice. You know what I did?
What'd you do?
Well, I got home at 1 this morning from doing show choir dad stuff.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And
because it's like you're either out late being like playing the rock and roll or witnessing the rock and roll,
yes,
or being a show choir dad.
Yeah. I'm trying to pack things into the stream of life, Joel.
Well, somebody's got to, because I'm sure as shit not. That's not true. That's not true.
I woke up, I set my alarm for 9 so I could have time to, get caffeinated to do this. But I woke up at like 8:15 and I thought, that's all right. I feel pretty good. So this morning I actually put clean sheets on my bed.
My God.
I did my dishes. I vacuumed. I dusted.
Wow.
Which is all kind of needed to be. It's like one of those things. It's like a quality of life thing. When I come home and like my place looks like shit, that's not great.
Yep.
And my maid quit. So
it's kind of on me now. I feel that way when the dishes are getting piled up, like it's in the back of my mind of like a thing to do, like,
right.
or my laundry gets a little, I'll do some Sunday night's usually a good laundry night for me, although I got to work today. So who knows?
Well, that's crap.
But Kirsten and I do not clean our house anymore. We hire that out.
Bougie. Look at you.
We did it once because it was like it had gotten so intense, and Maven, we always said we'd never get a dog that sheds, and now there is a layer of white dog hair over everything in our house at all times.
I had pugs.
You had a pug, yeah, dude. So
22 pounds of hair shedding fury,
snorting mess.
Yes.
So we were like, we should just.
I still find pug hair, and I haven't lived with one for 1.5 years.
Oh my God.
It's the gift.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, what the hell is it? Oh, it's a, yeah. Okay.
We hired that out for like a one-time deep clean to kind of start. And we're like, oh, we're doing this now. This is just a part of the budget now. Because if I don't mind that, I'll wipe things down. I don't mind that. Vacuuming even, I don't necessarily. It's the cleaning of the bathrooms and the showers. I
do that. I do all that monthly.
I know I used to, and if that is a luxury expense that could easily go if necessary, but for now,
if you can afford it, why wouldn't you? Jesus, it's nice. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also pay somebody to pick up my dog shit too, so there's that.
That's money well spent.
And that is money well spent because
Mhm.
you neglect that for two. It's like, it's my yard, it's fine. And then you
Right.
go back there and you're like, this is this is just a layer of dog shit.
Well, that's what the first mow of the season's for.
Oh my God.
Fertilizer, dude. You put on a respirator and just go get after it.
Just
Fertilizes the yard. It's great.
just blast it out.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're off to a great start.
we're off to a great start.
So yeah, my kids show choir came in second yesterday, which was really great.
Nice.
The one that came in first was from a suburb of Des Moines, and they're like I've seen them before in years past. They're like a goddamn Broadway road show, you know.
Really?
Oh
Right.
fuck. I mean, they bring in lighting trusses and special effects and a video screen and
That's amazing.
it is amazing actually. And the show is pretty solid. It's good. I mean, they benefit a lot from all the stuff, but also the show is pretty good.
Do
So
you and the other show choir dads maybe just sit around the water cooler and think about ways to like go Tanya Harding on the other teams?
no, we actually
Of
don't.
course, that's the right answer. Of course, why would
Uh
we do that?
it's a the weird I mean, literally it's a very supportive, collaborative, like all the schools help each other. Like if you need help getting around something or carrying something, there's always another dad crew guy like, hey, you guys need something,
It's great.
it is. It's genuinely like that.
And the kid, how are the kids? Are they supportive of each other? Or
They're
are they like, fuck
fantastic.
you? Okay,
No,
good.
there's
Of
I have
course they are.
never seen anything like that. They're drama kids.
Let's be clear. Show choir kids. Okay. So
Okay, Joel's
all
gonna
show.
educate me now.
Oh no, I'm not going to educate. I'm just saying there's show choir kids and there are drama theater kids. Sometimes
Oh yeah, the
those
Venn
circles
diagram.
overlap,
Yeah.
but that
Okay.
doesn't mean that all of those. I mean, I can speak to the theater nerds.
Right.
We're not always the most loving and generous
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate
people.
that. Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Well, okay. So they're show choir kids.
Well, yeah, because like I know that sometimes theater kids like, man, we're just really collaborative and we love, and we're supportive, and then there's like, I can't, and then
And
the
then I
same
can't fucking
people, and
stand that bitch.
exactly that like when she takes your role from you, or when
Yeah.
he does that monologue differently than you, it's like, what the fuck does that person know? But it's the same people that are like super loving and supportive in the heat of quote unquote artistic competition, which I think is bullshit anyway. You'll
Right.
see the claws come out. I've seen some of my like really generous students be like, that was totally fucked. Why did they get it and I didn't? I've
Yeah.
seen that. It's
Okay, so
great.
I've seen a little bit of that through the eyes of my
Sure.
kids a little bit, especially when it
Sure.
comes to like auditions for plays and things.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like there's so much drama around that.
there's no, I mean, that's like the whole of human suffering in one event, the cast list going up. That's like the entire journey
The
of,
whole of human suffering, the
yeah,
cast list.
the cast list, all of it, the power dynamic, the feeling of I literally, like, how you fire people on Friday. I put the cast list up for my shows on the last possible time I am in the office on Friday, so that I don't have to deal with any of
Any of
that.
that. You guys figure it
And
out. I'll see you on Monday.
yep, deal with whatever you need to deal with. You know, I'll
Right.
I'll I've made the mistake of doing it in the middle of the week, and I get like knocks on my door. Hey, can I talk to you? Why? And I'm like,
Because that's the way I want it.
yeah, it hurts me too.
Right. It hurts me too. So what you're saying is it's not a democracy.
It really isn't. It really isn't. I
Well,
am
that's
the
timely.
as the director of a show. You are
The
the
alpha and the omega.
you're the yeah, you're the chief doge officer of everybody's time accounts.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So yeah, man. Speaking of drama, I need to confess something on the podcast.
Okay.
I need to
I
make a confession. I need
Should
to
I go
open
get some
up.
popcorn?
You might.
Okay.
I need to open up. I need to be real about something. I have found a new, very salacious and sometimes unsightly uh, uh, television uh, relief, television release,
Not,
television.
is it Milf Island?
It's not MILF.
Oh.
But yeah,
Okay.
we've talked about MILF Island.
Uh-huh.
No, man, I am 100% in and obsessed with the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Have you watched any of the Real Housewives
I have not.
programs?
I have not because I have self-respect.
I have zero self-respect, and so that's why I am
What is Salt Lake
complete.
City like? Are they what they the Cleveland didn't want them? What?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of money. I mean, there's like Park City and all of that, and
Oh, sure.
also
Yeah, okay.
Mormon money,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Mormons, ex-Mormons,
Okay.
um,
Actually,
lots of like
I could get down with that actually. I think maybe. How is it? I mean, you're
it
watching
is
it.
it is unhinged. So back in the day when they started the Real Housewives shows, I was sort of like me and my friend from undergrad and grad school, Brett, um, kind of like tangentially started watching the Real Housewives of Orange County just because it was a spectacle, and I kind of was like, oh, this is fun. And then it kind of gets old because it's like, it's reality TV, and I don't know if I care about this. So I kind of got Kirsten into it and then dipped. And then she kept watching it. So there's this new, they have to find new cities. So Salt Lake
Yeah.
City is one of them. And I think I have it on good authority that this is the most insane, dramatic, like they can't sit down at dinner without throwing something at each other. Inevitably, one of three, not contestants, but participants gets up in a huff and leaves, pulling microphones off of their body as they leave. They all talk shit about it's amazing. It's awesome. I absolutely love it. I bought a t-shirt. There's a t-shirt that's like a deep cut reference of one of the quotes. It's coming on Tuesday. I was maybe a little high on melatonin when I bought it, but it's coming.
I
So I
don't
need it.
know. I don't know what to say.
That's fine.
You're contributing to the decline of civilization.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as we're
It's
clear
like,
about that.
yeah, I'm what's his name riding the atom bomb all the way to the ground.
Okay.
Hat in the air.
Yeah, yeah, the whole thing. Slim Pickens.
Yeah. Slim Pickens. Thank you.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just wanted to open that up, and I know you don't. I wondered if you.
I'm gonna have to process this. I'm gonna have to process this. And by process, I
I
mean
might.
maybe watch an episode. I don't know.
I think. I mean, I kind of missed out on all of season one, and apparently that's. But I've seriously like I'm actually. So we kind of
Why would
binged
you
it
watch that when you could rewatch The Wire again?
because I've seen The Wire, right? Like,
Yeah. You've seen
I,
this too.
not like this. I mean, that's the thing, man. Like, this is a delightful, ridiculous, dramatic escape. The Wire is very clearly that the whole system is rigged and fucked,
Mhm.
and it's a big reminder of that,
Yeah, I get it. I
So
get it.
this is me getting my yayas out. Okay.
I love it.
Yeah. So I'm just here to say that I have done my research. The Real House of Salt Lake City is where it's at, and
What's it on?
if you
Hulu?
it's on. Well, we're watching it on Peacock,
Oh, yeah.
but it's a Bravo joint. So you're
Gotcha.
into Bravo, yeah.
I just don't know. I have so many streaming services, but I don't
There's,
have Peacock.
you might be able to parlay some other. I don't know. I don't know how Bravo works. I don't know how any of it works, but
Right.
I'm here for the Salt Lake City, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Yeah, well, I went and saw Mark Maron.
Yeah, you did at the Hoyt Sherman Place in Des
Uh-huh.
Moines, Iowa.
Yeah.
How was that? How was that?
First of all, Hoyt Sherman Place is such a delightful venue. I mean, the house.
Did you walk around to like the?
Yeah, we didn't have time, but
Oh,
like we got there 5 minutes before the show started. But
oh,
uh I mean the like it was built in 1877.
Hmm.
It's very historic and it's
Hmm.
really cool. And it's, I mean, it's a beautiful theater.
Yep.
Um, and Mark, I just want to hug him. I mean, he's
Yeah.
obviously in distress, you know,
Yeah.
and, but he was also very funny. And, but I mean, literally the first 10 minutes of the show, he was just pacing back and forth, just kind of ranting. Like he just walked out on stage, taught his inner dialogue. And, yeah. And I was like, is he going to do the bit? Like, or is this
Is
it? You
this
know?
it? Is this what's happening?
And he eventually kind of took a deep breath. I was like, okay, all right.
Okay.
And I think the funniest bit, and I'm not going to try to recreate it, but the short version of, is there were those fires in Los Angeles,
Oh yeah.
and he talked about like he had a guy coming over to like paint his house or something. And he asked the painter, like, are we okay? Like, is this, the painter's like, that's fine. Okay, fine. So then like they looked up and over, and there was just, black smoke.
Yeah.
And so Mark, like, and his painter was like, I don't know, man. So Mark's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. So he did this 20-minute monologue on like packing up his cats
Oh my God.
and trying to get, like, he only had one cat carrier, so he's trying to get 3 cat. He had to find like a laundry hamper and a box, and he got him in the car, and he's all yay. So he's driving over the hills, and the cats are like shitting in the car, and the
Yep.
box is just a nightmare, and the cats are furious, and so he pulls it in this Hampton Inn, and he checks in, and and like, do you have any pets? He's like, well, I have a cat. So he's like trying to sneak the cats in, and he gets, and they make it through the night and whatever. And then the next day he's like, well, I guess I'll go home. Yeah. So because I went home, and his neighbors are out like raking leaves or whatever neighbors do, and
Right.
they're like, "Where'd you go?" And
I
and he
escaped to
and
the
then
Hampton
he
Inn.
paused, and he said to us, he said, "Oh yeah, I need to say that all, like, it wasn't a mandatory evacuation."
The fires were 20 miles away.
He just freaked out, and
That's
we
on
all,
brand.
it was, oh, exactly, it was just perfect. Everybody, it was great. That was a great moment.
And overall, like, how does it? It's weird to compare, but how does it fit into the overall trajectory of Mark Maron's shows?
Right on time.
And right on time.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Yeah, lots of cats, lots of anxiety, lots of, anger. He did. I
Hmm.
mean, he was like, he poked at, other entertainment slash news outlets, talking about maybe you need to be a little bit more deep.
Hmm.
Maybe you need to dig a little deeper than, isn't he just goofy?
Hmm.
Maybe you need to dig a
Hmm.
little deeper, you know. Anyway, whatever. Have
Yeah.
a nice night. I gotta go.
Right. Right. Right.
hmm Yeah. I can't believe all the things that he's doing. It's like, why fuck not?
Yeah.
Like,
I
that's
dipped back
stupid.
in. I dipped back into his podcast
Oh yeah.
because he interviewed. I was just like, I haven't listened to Maron in a while. So I was like, Ariana Grande, I bet that's going to be interesting. I can't think of two
More
people
different.
that,
That was great.
yeah, but
That was a
that
great
was
interview.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
She's
was
great.
awesome. But just I also was kind of curious about his opening monologue with just all the things that are going on, and I feel
Uh-huh.
like there was a concerted effort for him to like not completely lose his shit. Like
Yeah.
he's like, like I'm not going to go. Like I'm not going to do. Like what else can you say?
Right. Yeah.
But it was nice to hear, and he also mentioned something about. I think in the interview with her, he said something about like I think this tour is gearing up for an HBO special too,
It
which is
is.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he's working. He's putting together another hour. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. We should do a live show.
Yeah, where do you want to? Speaking of live shows, hold on.
Yeah,
You
that was kind of a planned tangent.
yeah, I took the bait.
Thank you.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. I went to New York very quickly.
Tell us everything.
So yeah,
Tell us
most of you
all of
that
it.
listen to this are aware that I participated in a Grateful Dead related podcast game show called Guess the Year, where a snippet of Grateful Dead music is played, and then the contestants, you guessed it, guess the year. And I've done pretty well on that, and have been kind of come
Yeah, you're
friendly.
like the
I'm the
all-time champion. Like
I'm
you're
the
the
all-time.
winning. Are you the winningest
Yes,
contestant? Okay,
I
good.
am. Yeah,
Let's just be clear.
sure. And it's my 15 minutes of fame. But I've become friendly with Mike, the host, and he's been on this podcast. And
Yep.
Mike's just a genuinely great guy. And he's just, he had this idea and for this show, and it's slowly like materializing,
Hmm.
And so anyway, he had a live show out in the Bay Area where he lives. I think it's the Bay Area. I don't know, a while ago, and I think that went pretty well. And then a former contestant, this guy named Marty, who booked stuff at the Bitter End in New York, put it together so Mike could do a live show in New York. And so Mike asked me to curate it, which is something that we talked about, like pick the music, We talked about
Hmm.
me doing that, and he was like on Wednesday, the show's on Sunday, and on Wednesday he's like, "Hey man," and I'm like, "Of course, no problem," because I
Hmm.
just happen to have a spreadsheet with all the things that I would have picked ready to
Oh,
go.
you had that ready to
Oh
go.
yeah, I've had that for a year.
Oh, wait. So he asked you to pick the music with only a few days,
Yeah,
like
on Wednesday.
warning?
Yeah,
Oh, good. I kind of like that, Mike. I got mad respect for that. Like, don't overthink this,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Shoot from the hip.
Well, I think, I mean, because Mike came in, I think the day before. I think he came in on Saturday and left on Monday,
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
I don't know the back end. Whatever. Anyway, I'm like, of course, that's no problem. And then I was like, well, fuck. On the show, like the whoever curates gets to, well, why'd you pick that track? And you get to
Yeah.
talk about it. And I wasn't gonna get to do that, because I
Yeah.
wasn't. And so I was a little bummed. And then not it was fine, whatever. I'm not picky, But
Sure.
but then it dawned on me. I'm like, well, wait a minute. The show's Sunday. I don't have to work Monday. I have literally nothing on my calendar Sunday or Monday, which I usually do on Sundays. It was just wide open. And I
Mm.
happen to have some credits on Delta Airlines for a trip that got canceled.
Hmm.
And the Omaha, Delta flies nonstop Omaha to LaGuardia every
Hmm.
day, and I just thought there's literally no reason that I can't just blast out there and do the goddamn show. So I asked Mike, I'm like, would you carry? He's like, fuck, uh, come on,
Yeah. Right.
And so, yeah, I flew out to New York. I got there, I don't know, 11 o'clock Sunday morning and did some sightseeing, went to a secret meeting, which was great.
Hmm.
Walked around Broadway. It was raining, so that kind of, whatever, it was fine. And, had a hot dog, walked through Central Park. I mean, I did a lot while I was there, and
Yeah. Yeah.
went to my hotel, which was the size of a shoebox, but it was great, and there was
Yeah.
breakfast, and it was fine, and then went down to Greenwich Village to the bitter end, and that place has some history.
Yeah.
Um,
What's the deal there? I
well, it's been
watched,
there
you
since
sent us a
19.
live link to watch it, and somebody mentioned something about yeah, there's been some
Well,
heavy hitters that have played
it's
there.
been in Greenwich Village since 1961. Bob Dylan used to play pool there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you Google
Wow.
the bitter end, like the wiki page, and read, I'm not going to bother to go through it because it's very extensive. Everybody from
Wow.
Bob Dylan to Lady Gaga's played there.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
That's crazy.
it's like 50% larger than the Zoo Bar with a very similar vibe.
Yeah. Huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, it looks pretty small on
it's
the
small. I
stream
think
camera.
maximum
Yeah.
capacity was like 270 or something.
Okay.
But it was pretty full. It wasn't standing room only, but all the tables were full. It was a good crowd. And so
Hmm.
anyway, yeah, there's this band Troubled Junction played a set. They were good. And then we did the show, which was, and so this is what's fucking great is, and I didn't really realize this, but so Nick Baumgarten, who's a staff writer at the New Yorker, he
Hmm.
went to shows in the 80s and he wrote an article in 2012, I think, just called Deadhead for the New Yorker.
Hmm.
And then recently he wrote an article about Dead and Company at the Sphere, where
Hmm.
he was like a little bit standoffish, but
Hmm.
also
Hmm.
okay, it's amazing. But I think he kind of intimated that John Mayer's kind of a weenie.
Yeah, he said he meant, what was the word he
I
used?
can't remember.
Like not whiny or he said like geeky or
Yeah,
something.
something kind of
Yeah.
just like I don't. And anyway, but Nick is great. He's so funny. He's an animal in the best sense of the word. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of rough
Yeah.
and tumble,
Yeah.
journalist, so anyway, the format. So Mike goes up on stage, introduces Nick. Nick comes up on stage, and the format, instead of like 4 or 5 contestants, was Nick Baumgarten versus literally everybody.
Yeah.
The bar,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
which is hilarious. And so then Mike's like, hey, would you mind if if I had some help? Nick's like, whatever, bring it, It's like, well, gosh, I just wish there was a guy that had written a book or something, like an author about live Grateful Dead music. And he's like, oh, wait, John Brackett's here from North Carolina, who just wrote a book called Live Dead. And so this guy came out from North Carolina with his son, who was really cool. And then Jay Ferris from Jerry Tone Store was there as well. So Mike's like, hey, would you mind if I brought up a guy? I wish there's a guy here that knew more about Jerry Garcia's guitar tone than anybody ever. Oh, look, it's Jay Ferris, And so then we just started the game, and it was just a riot. And there was a guy, like this guy Rich from New York, from Upper East Side. Rich is the guy that I beat on the 83 Space.
Oh, okay. So that's because Mike brought up and invoked Jack's name about 83 Space, but
that's because Rich was there.
Right.
And we've been like, it's funny, like I have this 83 Space cloud above my head, halo, whatever.
Sure.
In that scene. Because anyway, so Rich was there, the guy that, I was competing directly against him, and he's super cool guy. He's in recovery, and so yeah, there was I met just a ton of people and got to like people that I'd talked with on Zoom,
Yeah.
And the game could not have gone any better. No spoilers, but it's just like it was literally.
So
oh, that's right.
Good.
You watched it.
Well, yeah, because you sent us
the live link.
Gratefully sent us the live link,
and
I was like, I didn't have anything going on, so I'm like, I'll tune into this.
Right.
It was riveting. It was like
it really is,
because it's just I know it's not aired because he's probably going to put this out on his podcast.
Yeah.
So just know
no spoilers,
but listen until the end. If anybody's going to check it out and be like, wow, this is getting a little
even if you
one-sided.
don't give a fuck about Grateful Dead or anything, from just a game show competition perspective, we couldn't have written it better.
Especially too because of the way that Mike structured it. It was like he had all of those people and he invoked the whole crowd to also veto their guesses.
Yeah.
And it was like this was stacked against this one dude.
Yeah.
So
and I didn't think about this. I know I told you guys, but I did not think about it at all until we were in the middle of it. I'm like, holy shit, I can't give anything away. I'm sitting up here like with these guys. I cannot emote. I cannot make facial expressions. And there were multiple times where I had to look at my shoes.
Oh, I was watching
because I'm like,
specifically, you're like,
guys are blowing it so hard, or like, God damn it, they're gonna get it.
Yeah,
they're real close. And there were a couple that were like, if both teams didn't get it, and like, well, you just turn in your dead card. There were a couple gimmies in there,
Sure.
But there were a few that weren't too, so.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I was gratified a couple of times. I'm like, you guys are so far off. It's kind of fun for me. Like, you're just way couple decades off,
which I think, and this is shout out to Mike, this is why this game show actually, he does a great job. I love how the simplicity with which he produces it. It's about the music, and it's about the people that care about the music.
Yep.
But the Deus Ex Machina of the whole thing is that even the most seasoned experts can be stumped on it. And then that just shows the complexity of all of the factors, the music, the year that it was, also like what kind of recording you're using, what song it is, what they were doing. So it's like, there's like this huge fucking matrix of possibility there. And so
when I got knocked out by 10 years. And that was my best.
Yeah.
My best
Yeah.
guess. 10 years I was
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. It was a bit of a curveball though.
Well, it was
It was a bit of
100%
a
a curveball, but you know,
but that's how it
that's the
works.
game.
Yeah. So even if you don't give a fuck about Grateful Dead music, it's a really fascinating
Yeah.
thing to listen because it doesn't. I mean, that's the cool thing about the way Mike has produced it and everybody sort of contributes to it is that he hasn't felt the need to jump the shark yet.
Nope.
Like he
I
hasn't
hope
felt the
he
need to like
doesn't.
make.
Keep it simple, man.
Yeah,
Keep it
it's
simple.
really delightful. It's really
Hmm.
delightful.
Well, and that's like that was my main takeaway from that whole experience was A, that Mike's a great guy. I love you, Mike. And B, like the music is in good hands.
Right,
I
right.
mean, people young, old. There's a kid that lived I told you the kid that lived above the bitter end. He's like, I have to sleep with earplugs in because of this fucking place because it's always loud. But I've kind of recently dipped my toes into the dead, and then this thing is happening in my basement.
Hmm.
He's
Hmm.
like, and he was all in. Like, well,
Yeah.
this is a scene that I want to be a part of.
And he'd never heard of Guess the Year,
No, I
so
don't think
he's
so.
got
Huh? He
he's got
came
some
in.
catching up.
Yeah, yeah, he came in cold essentially.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I mean, like, just there. I mean, the kids. I say kids. The people in like the front row of the stage, average age 25.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. And so it was really, 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 like Bill Graham said it best. And I'm paraphrasing, but like it's not the Grateful Dead aren't a band. It's a community.
Yeah. Right.
Hmm. And
It's an ethos.
yeah, and that absolutely was in the house at the bitter end last Sunday night. And
That's so
it
cool.
was
And
just
also, go ahead.
it
Sorry.
was an utter just joy and delight to be there all night long. Everybody was just in a good mood. Like that energy was right on time, is how I'll say that.
And I just want to say, like, it was. I know you can be sort of like, let's go, let's fucking do it. And I
Yeah,
also know you can be a little cautious too about doing something like that.
sure.
But the universe aligned, and I'm so
Uh-huh.
glad you said, I'm
Let's
fucking
go.
going.
Yeah.
Because I think it would have been, as a fan of you and as a fan of the show, Guess the Year, it would
Hmm.
have been really sad for you to curate a show you couldn't reflect
Yeah.
on. Like,
Yeah.
dude, that's like that's the privilege of getting to do that, is that you get
Yeah.
to kind of talk about why you chose these. So I'm really glad you said yes to that opportunity.
There was a moment where I was like, nah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And I said, nah, fuck that. I'm going.
But because if it would have been like, well, you didn't have those Delta credits, or
Yeah.
you had a thing with your kids that you had to like switch, or that probably would have kept you
That
from
would
doing it.
have,
But it's like the universe was like, hey man, I
you're
cleared
going.
this whole, I've cleared
I've
this whole
cleared the
thing for
whole
you.
thing. Yep.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
go. And so shout out to New York City. Such a great place.
Yeah.
Such a great place. I mean, it's dirty and
Hmm.
dangerous and expensive as fuck and delightful and wonderful. And I love New York people. And my
Hmm.
heart just goes out to that entire situation all the time.
Hmm.
I loved taking the train. I even loved taking the bus. Now, if I
Hmm.
had to do it every day to go to my fucking job, I might
Yeah.
get tired of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to drop in there, and I literally so my first stop after LaGuardia, and I committed to public transit. Um, but the MTA has a bus that runs from LaGuardia. It's a special service bus, and it's very convenient. You can get from LaGuardia to Midtown Manhattan for $2.90.
No shit.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
no shit. And it's very easy. And especially with phones and Google Maps and whatever, because it tells you what train to get on. I'll tell you what
Right.
platform to get on. You don't have to figure that out anymore.
Right.
Um, and the trains run pretty quickly. On Monday, it was Saturday, it was weekend schedule because of the holiday. But even still, the longest I waited for a train was like 10 minutes.
Right.
Um, and but so my first actual stop was I wanted to get to this clubhouse on 46th Street, which me being an idiot, I didn't really know where that was. It was right off Broadway. And I
Hmm.
also, me being an idiot, I kind of came up I took like because some of the subway stops are very long. They're like 2 blocks long, and if you
Yeah.
walk the
Yeah.
wrong way, you're gonna come.
Yeah.
So I came up like on 49th Street, basically on the north edge of Times Square.
Oh, yeah. So
So I
getting down to 46th Street was a little different of a
well, it
deal.
was, but I also was not like Times Square wasn't on my itinerary. It wasn't on my agenda.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
up and it's raining and there's 1,000 umbrellas and these goddamn the signs,
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
had to it's like that scene in Vacation where Chevy Chase, where they're at the Grand Canyon and he's like, yep. And then it was like, I stopped, I took a couple pictures. I'm like, oh, look, it's Times Square. All right, I got to go.
Yeah. I got to yeah.
And then
Get the fuck out of there.
I was kind of disoriented because GPS does not work well with the skyscrapers.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's like it's kind of trying to figure out which way. I'm like, I got kind of overwhelmed because I played a gig in Omaha the night before, so I landed in Manhattan with like 4 hours of sleep.
Oof.
Yeah, it was brutal, so I'm like that moment of like, okay, all right, I'm on 11 right now, like I need, and then my eyes fell on Ray's Pizza and like, there's the
Yep.
answer. The
Yep.
clouds parted, the rain stopped, the sun shone down, Ray's Pizza.
Yeah.
So I
Eat
went
a
in
slice,
there,
chill the fuck out.
and I had a slice and it was buttery and delicious. And I sat there for 5 minutes. I was like, let's go. So then
Yeah.
on my way to the clubhouse, I walked by the Scientology office and I went in. And
Oh, good. Did you get a reading?
well, I told them that they didn't know what they were talking about because they haven't met the Korgons. You guys have no idea. I mean, I'm glad you have your little thing, but
When you're ready to actually get to the actual clear level,
yes, give me a
I'll
call.
take you to the portal outside of Hickman.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And they threw me out. And
That sounds about right.
yeah, but not before they got the chip in me. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Do they have public restrooms there? Because that would be a great thing. Be like, walk in and like, hey, do you have any merch? And then I'm going to take a shit because that's the worst. That's what I think about. Like when I went to New York City, that was my like top
Concern.
worry.
Uh-huh.
Was like, where am I gonna? I mean, because I'm like, people do it all the time. Just relieve themselves on the street.
Yep.
I can't bring myself to do that. How am I going to find a restroom? I will pay whatever you need me to pay for me to actually use a restroom.
Well, you remember I did that in Chicago. The
you did.
Field Museum.
You paid
like
a premium.
$37 to.
Well, the best part about that trip is that we damn near walked to the whole way to the Field Museum. You walked into the lobby, bought a ticket, and you're like, all right, I'm going to go hit the head. And then you got out and like, that's all I needed. Bye.
Out.
Those restrooms must be pretty nice.
They were pretty nice. Yeah, that's funny.
I'm at a point where I don't give a shit about any of this right now.
That's exactly right. Well, I was exhausted. But then I spent I kind of the next day I went to the 9/11 memorial and it was very cold and very windy, so I didn't stick around too long, but I had my moment and thought, wow, this was avoidable. Like that was like, well, this didn't need to happen. Anyway,
correct.
Moving on. So then I went to the Museum of Modern Art for a couple hours, and that was great. There was so many people there; it was kind of overwhelming. And that's something that I appreciated about traveling by myself. Is like when I got overwhelmed, I didn't want to be there anymore. I just left.
Yeah, right.
Like I don't want to be here anymore, and I left. And it was great.
Yep.
I was able to make that. As I was walking out, there was one I saw. Well, I got to look at that, so I stopped and looked at that real quick, and then I dipped.
Yeah.
And it was great. I was very grateful to just be by myself and like I'm overwhelmed. I need to leave.
You're like you're sovereign over your own experience on a solo trip in a way.
Yeah, it was really beautiful for me.
Yeah.
And then I walked to Grand Central Terminal, Grand Central Station. I took the train up north, basically to where the Harlem and the Hudson meet, and just sightsee. And that was really great. And it was nice because it was warm and I wanted to ride that. I wanted to take the train out of Manhattan underground. I just wanted to have that experience. And then I just rode it back. And then I sat in Grand Central for a while and had some food and just watched people. And that is people walking extravaganza
Yeah.
of epic proportions. Like they're just all walks of life, all languages, all stripes, all socioeconomic situations. There was a woman walking through there she was wearing this kind of, I'll call it a Hillary Clinton pantsuit,
Mhm.
just like a pantsuit, but it was bright fucking fuchsia pink, and the
Nice.
lapels were sequined, and
Nice.
it was hot couture, man. I mean, it was
Mm.
very expensive, and she looked the part. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And she was just walking through the train station. You know what I'm saying? On her, and
Hmm.
I was like, "Well, that's amazing." And
Hmm.
and then I, went to the bathroom, and there was a guy in there that had pissed himself, and he was drying
Hmm.
himself off underneath the hand dryers.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it was, it was like the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It's the beauty.
a smattering of people having very heated arguments with things that didn't exist, and you know,
But
right?
they existed for them.
Well, of course, I'm not
They
discounting
were.
their
Yeah.
I'm not discounting their reality. I'm just saying I couldn't see
Yeah.
anything. And then just people
Yeah.
trying to get to work. I mean, just
Yes.
like that element is like despite in the middle of everything, it's just people like, get the fuck out of my way. I'm trying to get to the goddamn, you know.
And that's the thing about New York is that people from the Midwest think that New Yorkers are all assholes, and they're
Nope.
not. They just have to get somewhere. They
Yeah.
don't have time.
They're broke, they're stressed out, they're late.
Yep.
And then and that's the other thing that I need. The part of the reason why I love New York and New Yorkers is that if you very directly say like, "Hey man, can you help me find this?" Like, yeah,
Yep.
fuck, it's over there, and they just keep
Yep.
walking. But like, they're
Yep.
very helpful, but don't waste their
I
time.
totally agree.
Don't.
Yes.
Speaking of, I need to. So I'm at the breakfast bar at my hotel, right?
Hmm.
And it was crowded. There was 40 seats and 60 people. My favorite dynamic ever.
Yeah. That's where you thrive.
I do. I thrive. And fuck. And but I got my stuff and I'm sitting there eating and I'm trying to just eat quick. And I hear this. So is they have the waffle irons, the dual,
Hmm.
where you
Hmm.
flip it over, and I hear this voice. This woman is what had happened is she got impatient, fucked up, and like opened up the waffle iron, so it reset the timer,
Yeah.
the 3-minute
Yeah.
timer. And
Yeah.
these things are on all the time, right? It's a
Right.
waffle iron. They don't like magically heat up really quickly. You know what I'm saying? Well,
Yeah.
this woman was berating the Hispanic breakfast attendant. Well, I just don't
Hmm.
understand why this isn't working. And she wouldn't shut up. And she was very publicly humiliating this nice attendant who went out of her way to come over and help. And it's like
Right.
she's like flipping the waffle iron. Well, maybe if I put it this way, it'll work. And maybe if I put it and I finally said from 2 tables away, the waffle iron is always hot. I couldn't take it anymore. And she stopped. She's like,
Uh-huh.
what? I said, the waffle iron is always hot. What you were talking about is a timer. There are lots of ways to time things.
Nice.
And she was like, ugh. I said, you can just leave the waffle in there and it will cook. Just leave it and it'll cook. And by this time, the whole place is, and
Yeah.
and she's like, oh, well, I guess I'll just leave it. And I'm like, great. And then this lady like looks at me and kind of like mouths at me like, thank you. Like, thank you for rescuing me from this horrible situation.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I said, I wasn't helping you.
Yes.
And she
Right.
did that. Well, I never. I'm like, yeah, I know. Fuck you. I couldn't take it another second. Like, you're being horrible right
You're
now
being
because
horrible,
you're
and you're
stupid
it,
to figure out how to work a fucking waffle iron.
yeah. Travel around in mediocre hotels and learn how to use a waffle iron before you go to Manhattan and
Yeah.
have to do it under duress,
Yeah. Right.
right? And also, because you don't understand how waffle irons work, don't take it out on the poor person working there.
Yeah. Who's trying to help you, by the way. But she was just, it was
Yes.
just,
Scapegoat.
she was just being shitty,
Yeah.
I don't know how to work this, so I'm going to be mean to the Mexican.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
all it was.
Yep.
And I mean, it went on for a couple minutes. I got my phone out and started videoing it. I'm like,
Oh no.
yeah, like this is, and then I finally couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah. The waffle iron is always hot.
That's what I told her.
God, I'd love to have seen that.
I
Good
just,
for you though.
I couldn't. Well, again, I just had enough.
Yeah.
Like, this needs to stop. This ends now.
But that's a really skillful way to do it because it was like you could have just made it about insulting her or
Yeah.
trying to or doing it for her. You're just like,
Nope.
no. You need to understand this. The situation is in charge right now, and the situation is you need to hear this because this person does not deserve the way you are treating them.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. So that was like, lady, it's a fucking waffle iron. Like,
I mean, I have a fraction of empathy because I did not always before I understood how those worked. I definitely got antsy and wanted my waffle early, and that is a nightmare.
right.
That's a nightmare.
And again, I honor that. I hear what you're saying, but also don't be mean to the person trying to help you.
No.
Because she didn't want to hear she didn't want to hear the answer. She didn't want to hear a solution. She just wanted to yell and to make sure that the little breakfast nook knew that somehow this wasn't her fault.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because the 2 minutes of the breakfast bar hotel waffle iron, I think might be the longest 2 minutes in human history because it feels like you are ruining everybody's experience waiting for
that's just codependency.
But
I'm so sorry that this is taking so long. Everybody, I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to. You know what? I don't need a waffle. I don't need
to eat.
I don't need.
I'll just
get the sad little hard boiled egg and.
Yeah, in a Nutri-Grain bar and go sit. I won't even. You know what? I don't even need a whole table. I'm just gonna put in my backpack and leave. I'm so sorry that I exist.
That's exactly right. Yeah,
so that is me, baby. That is.
I have been that guy, but I'm also the guy like I eat my fucking waffle.
Taking up my space.
I'm
finishing my coffee.
I'm finishing my coffee. I paid for this hotel. I paid for this breakfast. The timer says 3 minutes. Fuck it.
Yep.
I waited to get my table.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wait for your table. Eat the waffle.
For your table.
Eat the waffle if you want.
Claim your table and then get the fuck out.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. So I was already a little irritated because in the middle of all this, there were 2 tables with 2 couples at them that were just sitting there talking.
Mm-hmm. Just having a love.
Since done eating, and they're just having get the fuck out of here. You have a room. There's literally people standing looking for a place to eat, and we're just talking.
So there's a limit. You claim your space,
you
and
eat.
then you eat,
and you get up and you get out. It's not a fucking. I mean, it is a restaurant, but it's not. Especially when there's. I mean, the like this whole situation was very cramped. It was very small. There's people on top of each other, basically.
Yeah.
And there's people obviously looking for a place to sit and eat breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like this huge space where maybe the people waiting, you couldn't see them or there's some plausible deniability there.
Right. You are clearly overstaying your welcome at your table.
In my humble opinion.
In my not so humble opinion.
Yeah.
You need to get the fuck out. There are rules. This is a fucking
society.
La Quinta Inn breakfast nook.
That's right.
That was kind of related, but kind of not. That was. I mean, a hotel breakfast is a different situation. Although it seemed to the similar vibes. When we were in Greece last May, that was the most wild cultural shift. Was that restaurants in Greece? They have a thing where it's like you can stay here for as long as you want, and we are not going to bother you unless we see your drinks low or you need your thing. You can stay and hang out, and we're not going to we're not here to turn over tables. It's true. They were like people that there are people that come in there after work and then just sort of hold court until the place closes. And they
Right.
order drinks here and
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Friends come and go, but we're not here to like turn over a table. We're here for you to feel like you're home. I'm
Mm.
like, that is not the United States of America.
Nope.
It is, I
Yep.
got to turn this table over. I got
Yep.
to get you out of here. And it's like,
My
that
name's
was, yeah.
blank. I'll be your server tonight.
You ready for the check? You ready to go?
Yeah.
Everything good? We good?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out.
America, get the fuck out.
Welcome to the United States of America. Now get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out.
That's where we're at.
Pretty much. Oh,
Good stuff.
I love it.
I'm really glad you did. It was inspiring, Steve, that you just like let it rip. I love that. I love that you did that.
Well, it's kind of my last hurrah.
What do you mean?
Well, because I'm
for guess the year?
No, I mean, well, that which is a little bit sad, but also just like now I just have to go back to work.
Yeah.
Like the last year and a half has been kind of a time of major life change, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, well, now this is just what it is. So
you got your kicks out.
Yeah.
Time to make the donuts.
Pretty much. Yep.
I would say the freedom you have given yourself, which you can only give,
sure,
is not wasted. It's not gone away.
No, I
feel like you know what I mean?
So along those lines, I have to shout out, I have committed, and we've talked about this, like the party isn't going to come to me.
Yeah.
The opportunity, right. And so I've just been throwing wide open to the universe,
Yeah.
And I think it's a line from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's like, I don't know how much time I got left, so I'm going to get real weird with it.
Yeah. Danny DeVito's character in that.
There you go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I love that. And at this point, why not? Mm-hmm. So, I'm playing a free improv gig at Project March 22nd.
Nice. When is that?
March 22nd.
Okay.
Yeah. With Phil Smith and Derek. Gosh darn, his name has escaped me now. But Phil Smith plays drums and Derek plays he has synthesizers.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw those two guys do a duo, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and it was really great. And so, yeah, I was invited to go play a show.
March 22nd. What day of the week is that?
I don't know, Friday maybe. I'll send you a thing.
Send me a thing.
Yeah, it's on Instagram.
I'm not. I am.
Oh yeah,
not,
you're either. I'll send it to you.
I'm out of.
I'll send you the poster.
Send it to me. Yeah, send me the poster.
And also, there's the Soundry event, which is really cool. You would love the Church Art House in Omaha. It's at 20th and Vinton, approximately.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this old church that's been gutted. Like the pews are all gone. It's just a space to make weird art. Performance.
Yeah, you sent me something. You sent me something that looked pretty interesting. I need to take advantage and do that shit.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like if you're not doing anything the 28th, it's a Friday. Highly recommend. We're going to go up and make some instruments and play them.
Make some instruments and play them.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
It is amazing. Dr. Stacy Barelos is the whatever person behind all of that. And she's amazing and awesome and super fun. And I mean, she has a doctorate in music and composition and
amazing. Wow.
Makes all these. She's actually doing a show at with the Omaha Symphony Orchestra where she composed a piece for toy piano.
Oh,
and
nice.
She's playing a toy piano with a symphony.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. She's amazing. So I've taken a couple private lessons, music lessons with her. And it's just the best time. We have a great time.
Nice.
Yeah, she's got a baby grand piano in her house, and the last time I was up there, I was told to play sad, play tired, play frantic. I loved playing frantic.
This is my wheelhouse.
Pretty much. Yeah. Well, I got you. Frantic. I got you. Yeah.
But so rather than try to emulate somebody else's stuff, she's having you play emotions and feels and vibes.
Well, and to warm up, she has a It's like a composition. Like these are the kinds of things she composes. Like listen, like spend 30 seconds listening to the space around you, and
Mm.
then 15 seconds recreating what you hear
Wow.
with
I
whatever
love
means
that.
are available to you, your voice,
Uh,
your feet, whatever.
I love that.
Yeah, and then you do that like 5 times.
I'm here for that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's great.
And
Yeah,
the
that's
Soundry
great.
events are very much along those lines. Like the last Soundry event, they're once a month, they're free at the art house. The last one was we spread out in the sanctuary. Again, no pews, just open space. And the instruction was to walk around, but every step you take, you have to make a sound
Mm.
of your choice.
And anything goes.
That's the instruction.
I like it.
Every time you take a step, you have to make a sound
And everybody's doing this simultaneously.
simultaneously for like 10 minutes.
Whoa.
Uh-huh. I actually thought of you in the middle because of the movement pieces.
Yeah,
Different
that's what
thing, but
I'm.
like, but you should come up to this because it's very, and of course the purpose is just to open your mind.
Well, so that makes me really interesting to collaborate with somebody like that because you could also have a sense of improvising gesture and movement and
Mm-hmm.
tone and feeling, with your body as well as with sound. And what
Mm-hmm.
would that do? And if you created some sort of energy dynamic movement wise with other people and created some very loose boundary there, that would be a really interesting sort of orchestration or symphony of
Mm-hmm. Well, you and
people.
Stacy would just hit it off.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah, I got to check this out.
yeah, yeah. She's
Okay.
she's uh she's just a ton of fun, is what she is.
Nice. Right
Yeah,
on. Yeah.
because she has actual serious credentials and chops, right?
Right.
But what she really likes to do is make these far out compositions.
Right. Because there's tons of people with PhDs in music that are very hardcore compositionists that want to, be the next Mozart or Bach or something, or right. Like that's a different, yeah, that's cool though. I'd
And
like
as
to,
far as I know, she also can do that,
sure, of course. She
but
probably has to.
that's not how I know her, I guess, and that
Mm-hmm.
it's the more avant-garde outside.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Pushing the boundaries
Mm-hmm.
or having no boundaries
She's the
or one
one that
boundary.
at Noise Fest last year that her thing that project was she brought in an old piano and they destroyed it.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Everybody like
Yeah.
grab a tool, grab a hammer, grab a whatever, and let's deconstruct this thing. And then they
Oh my
record it, and
God.
then they recorded it.
Oh
This
my God.
piano
I
getting
love it.
destroyed. Yeah, it's great.
I love it.
Mhm.
Wow. I got to
Mhm.
do this.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you the info.
Okay. Deal.
Did we do it? See, look, man, we talked about art and
Yes.
travel and like that
Waffle irons
waffle irons and standing up for basic human decency in the
and we
face
also
of
we also had the, obligatory Grateful Dead
yes.
references,
Well, I mean,
and we didn't have to like spiral into despair about the state of the nation.
not yet. We should probably cut it.
We should cut it
Yeah.
because that's a whole other hour, and I'm going to be that guy in the bathroom that pisses himself and needs a dryer
Right.
because I gotta go, man.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, on that note, talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
All of my friends come to see me last night. stand the rain. Come, squall through the door. But who can the weather command? Just wanna have a little peace to die and a friend or two I love and a man can be as poor as me. Take a look at poor Peter. He's lying in pain. Now let's go run and see. Run and see. Go run and see. Run, 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 run and see.
Don't forget, toot your hooter.